Hello.
So after being a policeman for 26 years in the city of LA, was this incident shocking to hear?
No.
Hypothetically, if you were the officer to pull over Rodney King, would you have done anything different?
I don't know what tactics they used to arrest Rodney King, other than the fact that I've seen the tape like everyone else has seen.
Mm-hmm.
And but the training with the monadnock baton and the taser that were utilized, they couldn't control the suspect. They couldn't arrest him. They couldn't get him handcuffed.
Yeah.
The escalation and de-escalation charts that the department had, I believe at that time, the officers were not allowed to use a chokehold on the suspect to render him unconscious, so they could control him and get him handcuffed.
And so,
Subsequently, they had to use their batons, the monadnock baton, and in the escalation, de-escalation of an incident, they used that baton. If it's obviously, when you see the video of that incident, I mean, just the total amount of strikes from the police onto the suspect, or it's not. It's that part is shocking, but when a suspect can't be controlled with a taser or a baton, you'd think that perhaps the suspect was under the influence of some drugs. I mean, just the action of the pursuit itself started out. In my understanding of it, started out as a regular slow pursuit on the 210 freeway until it started going downhill. Vehicles going downhill, in excess of 100 miles an hour. People's lives are in danger. Tensions rise, and it's so that part of that arrest is shocking. But on the other hand, if you look at the total incident, there's two other persons in the vehicle. To my knowledge, are both street gang members and criminals. Were taken into custody without any incident. So,
do you believe this incident could have been prevented or solved with a less violent solution?
oh yes, but now at the time of the incident, to the best of my knowledge, the sergeants were the only one were allowed to carry the taser, and now that the officers are supplied with more less than lethal tools to control the suspect, these beanbag rounds that they shoot at the suspect, more officers are carrying tasers that they can utilize. But I think that the citizens of the city of Los Angeles and surrounding counties need to know that there were 3 people in that car in a high-speed pursuit that were stopped and detained by the police. 2 of them were controlled with no problems. Rodney King did not obey the officers, and the officers were, to their best of their ability, use a monadnock baton to try to control a suspect, and they couldn't control him. So I think it can be controlled with more less than lethal tools and the proper training to the police.
To supplement this effort, I've taken several additional actions. First, this morning I've ordered the Justice Department to dispatch 1,000 federal riot-trained law enforcement officials to help restore order in Los Angeles, beginning tonight.
Did you agree with the comments President George H.W. Bush made on the incident?
Yes, I agree with the statements he made of bringing federal troops in during the rioting and to stop them and control the riots. So I do agree with that.
Over. The city's police chief said today he will support criminal charges against some of the men. Here's ABC's Gary Shepard.
The 3 police officers facing felony criminal charges were among a group of 15 who stopped a 25-year-old black man last Saturday night, then beat him, kicked him, and clubbed him, unaware that an amateur photographer was recording the incident on videotape. Los Angeles Police Chief Darrell Gates looked at the tape and said he thinks assault with a deadly weapon will be one of the charges.
In our review, we find that the officers struck him with batons between 53 and 56 times. One officer rendered 6 kicks, and one officer 1 kick.
Did you find the media to be biased?
Well, in general, I would say that the media is slanted against the police. And that's been my experience in my career with LAPD.